Hello friends, have a nice day. Now we are to discuss the 3 chapters towards the end of book the first from Charles Dickens' Hard Times. All these chapters they are closely associated with the theme that the marriage of Louisa along with Mr. Bounderby. And the chapters 14 the great manufacturer, 15 father and daughter, 16 is entitled husband and wife. So they are all these chapters they are related with the marriage of Mr. Bounderby and Louisa. Chapter 14 the great manufacturer, and it is about all these 3 young people, that is Tom, Louisa and Sissy, as well as this Mr. Bounderby, however he is in his business. Tom, who has become a young man. Time moves fast. Louisa and Tom has grown as young woman and man. As they have grown, their father plans for the next step in their life. In the case of Sissy, Thomas Gradgrind is disappointed. She has not attained any progression in her studies. In fact, she goes backward, as he believes. He believes her unfavorable past life as the sole reason for her lack of progression. At the same time, he realizes her as an affectionate, earnest, good young woman. She is useful to Mrs. Gradgrind. She is serviceable in the family. Still, she awaits her father with the oil. Thomas Gradgrind wants to speak to his daughter Louisa alone the next morning. Young Thomas also has predicted the thought of his father towards his idea with his daughter. The father has left with a clue as he continuously emphasizes her daughter becomes a woman. Tom has returned from the office of Mr. Bounderby only to give a hint to his sister that day. Actually, her father and Mr. Bounderby have planned her marriage with Mr. Bounderby. Tom is aware of it. Though Tom seems affectionate to his sister, he is a kind of selfish. He is pleased with the marriage proposal as it would give him dignity and importance in the factory of Mr. Bounderby. Bounderby's factory is portrayed by Tom as a secret place, and his work as noiseless, and his hands, that is the employees at the factory who are addressed only as hands, are as mutes. So they don't have any liberty to speak to. Even they won't speak to. They would be always as mutes. And chapter 15 is entitled Father and Daughter. It is about the father and daughter's discussion on that marriage of the daughter. This chapter records the conversation of Thomas Gradgrind to his daughter Louisa about her marriage. Actually, Louisa is uninterested with Bounderby even from her young days. Her father begins his conversation as if he knows her well. Even before comes to the point, he indirectly wants the principle on which she is brought up. He says she is as if she is trained well, she has good sense, she can view everything from the ground of reason and calculation, and she is totally without impulsive or romantic ideas. He reveals the marriage proposal of Mr. Bounderby to his daughter Louisa through him. She doesn't know what to decide on this subject. He asks her father's advice in this regard. She is about 20, whereas Bounderby is about 50. But the father says the age difference is unimportant and it won't make disparities, as he has seen marriages of parties of unequal ages. She asks her father to decide in this particular contest. He accepts the marriage proposal. As her father is interested on that proposal, the reply of Louisa when her father asks her whether she had received any other proposal secretly, she doesn't know anything of tastes, fancies, aspirations or affections. So far she is not all given any place to her of her own taste, of her own fancy, for her own aspiration, for her own affection. So far she is brought up with the idea of fact. So far she is brought up everything with a proper calculations. Even when she was a child, she had never dreamed a child's dream. As her father is interested towards the marriage, she has given her concern. This father and daughter are very serious in their conversation on marriage, but her mother is worried that the entire day, his mother has worried for the entire day that how she can call Mr. Bounderby. Of course, more or less, Mrs. Gradgrind as well as Mr. Bounderby, they are of the equal age group, and how she could call him after he has married her daughter. This is what the problem he has throughout the day. When Louisa is presented as Mrs. Bounderby by her father, when Louisa is presented as Mrs. Bounderby by her father, her nature gets changed. She holds Sissy at a distance. So far she was very close with Sissy, but now she becomes distant with Sissy, Cecilia Jupe, and she has become impassive, proud, and cold. Chapter 16 is entitled Husband and Wife. In this chapter, these two they get married. Bounderby as well as Louisa they get married. Mr. Bounderby wants to open up his marriage with Louisa to Mrs. Sparsit, the caretaker of the family. First, he wants to reveal it to her through letter, but at once he has decided to inform her orally. After a long trial, he informs her the marriage, and she didn't disapprove this marriage. She behaves quite well. Mrs. Sparsit behaves quite well. Even though Mrs. Sparsit has a soft feel, has a love towards his Bounderby, she didn't show any of her disapproved sign. The marriage is appointed in 8 weeks' time. In these 8 weeks, every day, Mr. Bounderby visits the stone lodge. The days are moving logically. They do not feel anything imaginative, sensitive, or romantic as the movie shows. The movie shows as if the days they move either very slow or they move very fast towards the time of their marriage. But it is not all with any such romantic, imaginative ideas, whereas it's a very logical. They get married in the church. Following their marriage, their breakfast is arranged at Stone Lodge. After their breakfast, he addresses Mr. Bounderby, the bridegroom addresses the gathering. He has married Louisa after a long time wish. So he had a desire to marry her for a long time, but now only he has proposed, simply because now only she has come to the age of that marriage. That's why now he has proposed. He has watched her bringing up and believes her as worthy to him, so that he has married her. He believes that they would be a perfect company to one another, and so far he addresses then this newly married pair. It is both Mr. and Mrs. Bounderby. Mrs. and Mr. Bounderby leave for Lyons and on a nuptial trip. Tom becomes enthusiastic of this marriage because he could get some of the favor in the office as he